So we can use different selectors to target different elements within our HTML um, file. So basically, um, I'm gonna go through each of these ones and explain what's going on here. So this first one, which has um, the asterisk here, that means that all the selectors or all the elements are affected by this rule. Basically, if I go here and go to inspect and make this a little bit bigger, you will see here that all the elements have a margin of 0.5 m and 1 m. Then I'm gonna explain, like, next chapters we're gonna explain what that really means in that order. But basically, you can apply that rule to all elements. So that's what the asterisk means. Now, you also, as we know, we can use the element as a selector. So in this case, the main element is a selector, and it has two properties: change the border. That's why this box has a border here. And the border is 2 pixels width, with it's solid, and also it's black. And it has a padding of 1 m. And I'm gonna explain again next week what padding is and all that stuff. We can see that the P element has also its own margin. Also, we can see that the H1 has a font family, which could be different from the P element. But then we can see that also we can target things by IDs. So if we scroll down a little bit, we can see that our ID here is in this P element, is copyright. So the font here on the copyright element is 80%. So, and why do we do this? Because if I apply the font size to 80% to the P element, considering that this is a P element, is going to affect these two paragraphs here. And that's not what I want, right? So that's why we use IDs. Now, if when do I use classes? I use classes when I have two or more elements that are going to share an attribute. In this case, we have two classes here that are going to share attributes. So the first one is October, Jeffrey Tobin, and then November, Andrew Ross. Those two paragraphs are blue, right? And because those two paragraphs are blue, I apply that rule. Now, here's the caveat. Look at this. This class is blue, but also, or this paragraph element has a class of blue and also has a class of right, which basically the right is aligning the text to the right. I could apply all these rules to the P element, but what would happen? It would happen that all these text would move to the right, and that's not what I want. So basically, this is why we have to use different selectors for different elements, and we can have, as you can see here, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, we can have in each element a combination of IDs and classes to apply CSS rules to elements.